Dimensions. This dimension concept can be a bit confusing, so I will do my best to explain. There are a number of dimensions, and we must realize that each one of them is actually a real world. Our bodies are multi-dimensional. Try to imagine the Russian doll concept. So we have a physical body standing on our physical planet. Then we have an etheric body, which is standing on the etheric version of Earth, which is nevertheless real and solid, but just of a different frequency to Earth. Thus it seems invisible. Then we have other bodies in higher and higher frequencies that are also real, solid bodies in those realms, standing on real, solid planets, which are just different versions of Earth, but of different vibrations, and thus are invisible to our earthly eyes and senses. These other dimensions actually take no space, so they are all just around us, rather as we have radio, TV, and telephone signals all around us. So, you actually have 8 bodies. The one that you can see, and 7 more that you can't see, but nevertheless are real. Each one of these bodies is standing on a version of planet Earth that is real, solid, but also that you can't see. So, there are 8 versions of planet Earth and, indeed, the whole galaxy. These things are invisible to you because they are of higher and higher vibration, and your eyes can only see in what is called the visible spectrum. However, it is important to understand that, with training, we can transfer our attention from our physical body into any one of these other bodies and worlds, and they will then all seem just as real to us as our physical world does. So, let's look at the dimensions. We start off with your physical body, standing on physical Earth. Then, just of a slightly higher frequency, we have the etheric version. It looks like a monochrome version of our world because the etheric sun is not the same as our sun. Then above that is what we call the lower 4th dimension. This is where demons live. It is not hell. It is this pitch black area that has this terrifying feeling of absolute fear. Then above that, we have the higher 4th dimension. This area is what we call heaven. Heaven is split into 3 basic parts. There is the default area that we call Summerland, which is the first area that we go to when we die. Also, just higher than the Summerland is the true heavenly part. It contains level after level of beautiful, wonderful, loving things and beings. Below the Summerland is what we call hell. It goes down and down, darker and more miserable. It is, however, part of the heaven complex, the higher 4th. The lower 4th, where demons live, is a totally separate area that we should normally never have contact with. The higher 4th contains hell, Summerland, and the lovely parts of heaven. Then it goes on into the 5th, 6th, 7th, and finally the 8th dimension. Each one of these higher dimensions is just as real, but contains more and more beauty and bliss. The 8th dimension is the final, God dimension, where we all will end our journey and merge with God. However, that is trillions of years into the future for all of us. One last thing. Some people talk about much higher dimensions, 11th, 12th, 19th, and so on. My guides tell me that it is the person's imagination. There are only 8 dimensions.